The streets of Chicago are buzzing after a shocking revelation from none other than 50 Cent himself, and fans are left stunned. In a move that has immediately sent social media into overdrive, 50 Cent called out Lil Durk's latest actions, hinting that the long-standing tension between him and other Chicago figures is far from resolved. What started as a seemingly contained rivalry has now exploded into a public spectacle, drawing reactions from fans, rappers, and insiders across the city. Clips of 50 Cent's comments are going viral, with fans dissecting every word, expression, and implication, trying to understand the deeper meaning behind his bold statements. The atmosphere is electric. Every post, tweet, and reaction seems to escalate the drama, leaving the internet buzzing with speculation, debate, and anticipation. This isn't just another industry beef. It's a moment that could redefine alliances, reputations, and the street's pulse in real time. The backlash and reactions have been immediate. Chicago fans are taking sides, sharing clips and commentary about the implications of 50 Cent's words. Some defend Durk, arguing that this is just hype and that the real story is being blown out of proportion. Others believe 50 Cent is shining a light on hidden truths, exposing moves that many had only whispered about. The combination of social media chatter, viral clips, and local discussions has made this a full-blown citywide conversation. From Twitter threads dissecting the nuances of each line, to Instagram reactions from fellow rappers and influencers, every angle is being explored, and fans are reacting with shock, excitement, and even fear over what could come next. Insiders hint that this may not just be about words. It could signal a new chapter in an already tense rivalry. Chicago streets are alive with speculation about what's happening behind the scenes, who's really involved, and what this exposure could mean for the ongoing beef. Analysts, rappers, and fans are weighing in, creating a frenzy that shows just how high the stakes are. With the city watching every post and clip, the story has already cemented itself as one of the hottest and most unpredictable conflicts in recent memory. One thing is clear: this beef is far from over, and everyone in Chicago and beyond is waiting to see what happens next. The streets of Chicago were buzzing as news of 50 Cent's latest comments about Lil Durk spread like wildfire. Social media exploded within minutes, with clips of the rapper calling out Durk circulating across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Fans dissected every word, pause, and facial expression, trying to understand exactly what he meant. This wasn't just another celebrity comment. It felt like a warning, a revelation, and a spark that could reignite an already tense rivalry. Comments ranged from shock to excitement, as supporters of both sides flooded feeds with reactions, memes, and opinions. Analysts and insiders weighed in, debating whether 50 Cent was exposing hidden truths, sending a message to the streets, or simply stirring the pot for publicity. The energy was palpable, and it was clear that this moment would dominate the conversation for days to come. The history between 50 Cent and Lil Durk added layers to the drama. Over the years, there have been subtle jabs, collaborations gone wrong, and tensions that simmered just below the surface. While Durk had his own loyal following in Chicago and beyond, 50 Cent's influence and ability to control narratives in hip-hop gave his words immediate weight. Fans noted that his recent statements seemed more calculated than casual, hinting at knowledge of moves and alliances that weren't publicly known. Speculation ran rampant. Was he revealing insider information about Durk's current conflicts? Was this a prelude to a larger public confrontation? Social media erupted with theories, each one more intense than the last, and the buzz quickly crossed city boundaries, reaching hip-hop communities nationwide. Chicago's reaction was instant and intense. Fans took to the streets and online forums to debate, analyze, and react. Clips from 50 Cent's comments were replayed thousands of times, with viewers pausing and scrutinizing every syllable. Supporters of Lil Durk tried to defend him, arguing that the veteran rapper was exaggerating or misrepresenting facts. Others believed that 50 Cent's revelations were accurate, exposing moves and alliances that many insiders had suspected but had never been confirmed publicly. Every angle sparked engagement, with heated exchanges dominating comment sections and online debates. Local media outlets and YouTube channels jumped on the story, posting reaction videos that dissected every word, fueling the frenzy even further. The tension grew as fans began connecting dots between 50 Cent's statements and recent events in Chicago's hip-hop scene. Rumors about new rivalries, street alliances, and behind-the-scenes conflicts circulated rapidly, creating a sense that something major was brewing. Analysts pointed out that Durk's recent collaborations, public appearances, and social media activity might have been missteps or signals that 50 Cent was referencing. The combination of real-life tension, street credibility, and social media amplification created a perfect storm. Everyone seemed to be waiting for the next move, with the stakes feeling higher than they had in years. Chicago's streets, social media, and media outlets were all on edge, anticipating the fallout from this explosive call-out. By the end of the day, the story had grown into a citywide phenomenon. Fans were not only reacting to 50 Cent's words, but also speculating about how Lil Durk would respond and what consequences might unfold in the hip-hop scene. Hashtags related to the feud trended across platforms, while clips of both rappers' past confrontations and statements resurfaced, fueling discussion. Analysts debated whether this was a calculated exposure by 50 Cent or the start of an escalating rivalry that could redefine alliances in Chicago and beyond. One thing was clear: the beef was far from over. The stakes had never been higher, and every fan, insider, and observer was watching closely, waiting to see what would happen next in this explosive saga. The reaction in Chicago didn't take long to escalate. Fans flooded social media, analyzing every clip of 50 Cent's comments about Lil Durk, replaying his expressions and the tone in his voice. Some argued that 50 Cent was exposing moves that many had suspected for months, while others insisted he was simply stirring controversy to maintain relevance. The debate spread like wildfire, with memes, reaction videos, and detailed breakdowns of his statements circulating everywhere. The streets of Chicago seemed to mirror the online frenzy, with conversations about the beef becoming a daily topic. In clubs, on street corners, and in casual conversations, people debated whether Durk would respond immediately or wait for a strategic moment. Every fan had a theory, and the tension felt almost tangible, like the city itself was holding its breath. Meanwhile, insiders hinted at the complexity of the feud. Sources close to both artists suggested that the tension wasn't just personal. It involved alliances, music business decisions, and loyalty within Chicago's hip-hop community. 50 Cent's revelation had forced a spotlight onto dynamics that had long remained behind closed doors. Analysts speculated that Durk's recent collaborations and public appearances were being scrutinized for signs of weakness or division. Fans began digging through every detail of his social media, interviews, and even his past lyrics, searching for clues about what 50 Cent was alluding to. The narrative had shifted from a simple beef to a layered story involving influence, strategy, and street credibility. The stakes grew higher when rumors started circulating that other Chicago artists and affiliates were taking sides. Social media posts, cryptic messages, and indirect references fueled speculation about potential alliances and conflicts. Fans dissected every interaction, trying to determine who might back 50 Cent, who might defend Durk, and how this could impact the larger Chicago rap scene. The tension wasn't limited to the city. It spread nationwide, with fans outside Chicago tuning in to see how one of the city's most explosive feuds would unfold. Every post, clip, and comment seemed to add fuel to the fire, creating a real-time drama that no one could ignore. At the same time, Lil Durk's fanbase mobilized online, responding with defense, criticism, and speculation. Some supporters believed 50 Cent's claims were exaggerated, while others feared they were closer to the truth than anyone realized. Reaction videos, memes, and discussion threads multiplied by the hour, creating a digital storm around the feud. Analysts pointed out that public perception could heavily influence the outcome, noting that in modern hip-hop, narrative control is just as important as lyrical skill or street credibility. Fans debated whether Durk would address the allegations directly, or if a subtle social media response or upcoming song would serve as a statement. The suspense was overwhelming, leaving fans glued to screens, refreshing feeds, and sharing every update with friends. By the end of the day, it was clear that 50 Cent's exposure of Lil Durk had ignited something far larger than either artist could control. The beef was no longer just about personal rivalry. It had evolved into a public spectacle affecting alliances, reputations, and the broader Chicago music scene. Fans and insiders speculated about what the next move would be. Would Durk respond immediately, or would 50 Cent release further commentary to maintain the upper hand? Social media continued to buzz with theories, reaction videos, and breakdowns, while the streets of Chicago mirrored the online tension. One thing was certain: the feud was escalating rapidly, and everyone, from fans to media, was waiting for the next explosive chapter in this saga to unfold. The tension around the feud reached a fever pitch as Lil Durk's camp began responding. Quietly at first, but with signals that didn't go unnoticed. Social media feeds exploded with cryptic posts, subtle references, and stories that fans immediately interpreted as indirect responses to 50 Cent's latest exposure. Analysts and insiders began dissecting every detail: the timing of posts, the choice of words, even the emojis used, all considered potential messages aimed at 50 Cent or his affiliates. Fans replayed clips of Durk's past interviews and performances, hunting for signs of preparation, strategy, or hints about his next move. The digital storm created an almost tangible tension, with every post, comment, and reaction adding fuel to the growing fire. In the streets of Chicago, conversations mirrored the online frenzy. Fans debated who had the upper hand, dissecting recent events and rumored alliances. Some argued that 50 Cent's exposure had given him leverage, while others believed Durk was biding his time, planning a response that would land harder than any statement could. The speculation extended beyond the two artists, encompassing affiliates, collaborators, and even the wider hip-hop community. Videos and posts highlighting past conflicts, subliminal messages, and lyrics resurfaced, each one scrutinized for hidden meaning. Social media influencers and local commentators weighed in, analyzing the feud as both a street-level drama and a high-stakes business conflict, emphasizing that in today's hip-hop scene, narrative control is just as crucial as musical output. As the online and street-level debates intensified, insiders hinted at behind-the-scenes meetings and discussions taking place among Durk's team. Fans speculated about strategy sessions, possible upcoming releases, and whether Durk would respond publicly or let his music speak for him. Some analysts noted that keeping a measured approach could give him an advantage, allowing 50 Cent to overexpose himself while Durk prepared a more impactful response. Meanwhile, social media buzzed with fan theories, memes, and debates about the potential fallout. Every new clip, comment, or post was dissected for meaning, turning the feud into a citywide and even nationwide spectacle. The anticipation of a direct confrontation grew stronger when subtle hints suggested Durk was ready to make a statement. Fans noticed patterns in his recent posts, collaborations, and interviews that seemed to allude to 50 Cent's claims without explicitly naming him. Each subtle move was analyzed across TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, with reaction videos and breakdowns gaining thousands of views in minutes. The tension wasn't just about words. It had become a test of strategy, influence, and narrative control. Chicago fans were divided, some backing 50 Cent's bold exposure, others standing firmly with Durk, each faction analyzing every detail, eager to see who would gain the upper hand. By the end of this explosive stage in the feud, it was clear that the story had grown far beyond two artists trading blows. The battle had evolved into a full-blown spectacle involving the streets, social media, and the wider hip-hop industry. Fans were glued to every clip, meme, and reaction, trying to predict the next move and debating the potential consequences for both artists. Analysts highlighted that the feud was now as much about influence, reputation, and control of the narrative as it was about personal rivalry. With the city of Chicago and the nation watching closely, the stage was set for the next chapter, one that promised even more drama, reactions, and high-stakes confrontation in the weeks to come. The drama surrounding 50 Cent and Lil Durk reached new heights as the city of Chicago and the online world watched closely, anticipating the next explosive move. Fans scrutinized every social media post, interview, and story, searching for hints about the next chapter in the ongoing feud. The tension wasn't just in the words exchanged. It was in the energy, the tone, and the timing. Analysts speculated that both artists were carefully controlling their narratives, making every public statement, post, and clip a calculated move in a high-stakes chess game. Supporters of each side debated passionately online, sharing theories, reaction videos, and memes, each one adding fuel to the fire. Social media was saturated with conversation, making it clear that this was no ordinary beef. This had become a cultural moment that captured the attention of fans nationwide. As the city reacted, street-level discussions added another layer to the intensity. Chicago's communities dissected the feud like analysts, interpreting alliances, affiliations, and recent collaborations as strategic moves in the battle between the two rappers. Every music release, every social media post, and even every public appearance became a point of analysis. Fans debated whether 50 Cent's exposure of Durk's actions had given him an advantage or whether Durk was quietly preparing a response that could shift the balance entirely. The combination of digital speculation and street chatter created a charged environment where anticipation was almost palpable, as if the city itself was bracing for a significant escalation. Amid the chaos, insiders hinted at behind-the-scenes maneuvering, suggesting that both camps were preparing for potential confrontations that went beyond social media. Analysts pointed out that this feud wasn't just personal. It was intertwined with business decisions, music releases, and reputational stakes. Fans speculated about which collaborators and affiliates might be involved, interpreting indirect posts, cryptic stories, and public statements as coded messages aimed at the other side. Every subtle action was magnified under the microscope, feeding the online frenzy. The story had evolved into a multi-layered spectacle, blending street credibility, public image, and the strategic battles that define modern hip-hop culture. The anticipation reached its peak when subtle signs from Lil Durk's team suggested a calculated response might be imminent. Fans noticed cryptic posts, potential diss lyrics, and visual hints in music videos that seemed to allude to 50 Cent's claims. Analysts argue that the timing of these signals was deliberate, designed to maximize impact while keeping the public engaged and guessing. Social media exploded with reactions, theories, and debates, with reaction channels compiling every clue and potential implication. The city of Chicago, along with fans nationwide, seemed to be holding its collective breath, waiting to see if this feud would escalate into a direct confrontation or if the next round would play out through music and subtle messaging. By the end of this stage in the saga, it was evident that the feud between 50 Cent and Lil Durk had become much more than a rivalry. It had grown into a real-time drama that involved streets, social media, and the broader hip-hop industry. Fans were engrossed in every clip, every post, and every reaction, analyzing moves and predicting outcomes. Analysts highlighted that narrative control, public perception, and strategic positioning were now as critical as lyrical skill. The stakes had never been higher, and with anticipation building for the next explosive development, Chicago and the world waited in suspense. Every new move promised to intensify the tension, deepen alliances, and keep fans glued to screens as the story continued to unfold. The tension between 50 Cent and Lil Durk reached its boiling point as the city and social media braced for what felt like an inevitable escalation. Every post, story, and clip was analyzed by fans, with speculation about responses dominating Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Analysts noted that the feud had evolved into a high-stakes game of influence and narrative control. One misstep could shift public perception and fan support dramatically. Street-level chatter mirrored the online frenzy, with Chicago communities debating which artist had the upper hand and predicting how the conflict might unfold next. The anticipation was palpable. This was no longer a simple rap beef. It was a cultural event that had everyone watching closely, waiting for the next explosive move. Lil Durk's response, when it came, was both subtle and strategic. Instead of a direct call-out, he released cryptic lyrics in a surprise track drop and posted visuals that fans immediately interpreted as messages aimed at 50 Cent. The moves were calculated to assert his position without escalating into an overt confrontation, showcasing a balance of street credibility and media savvy. Social media erupted within minutes, with fans dissecting every bar, lyric, and visual cue for hidden meanings. Analysts praised the strategy, noting that in modern hip-hop, controlling the narrative often matters more than direct confrontation. Durk had managed to respond in a way that energized his fanbase while maintaining an air of calculated authority, keeping the feud alive without tipping over into chaos. 50 Cent, naturally, did not remain silent. He responded with commentary on social media, praising his own insight while subtly questioning Durk's moves. Clips of his reaction went viral immediately, with fans debating the effectiveness and intent of his statements. Memes and reaction videos multiplied, dissecting the tone, word choice, and timing. Analysts suggested that this exchange had become a test of influence, with both artists using words, music, and visuals as tools to assert dominance. The story had transformed into a multi-platform spectacle, blending music releases, social media posts, and street-level speculation into one explosive narrative. Fans were glued to their feeds, anticipating each new move as though watching a high-stakes thriller unfold in real time. The Chicago hip-hop community itself became a critical part of the saga. Other artists, collaborators, and influencers weighed in, either directly or through subtle posts that fans read as alliances or commentary. Each gesture, no matter how small, was scrutinized for signs of loyalty, influence, or hidden messages. The feud had transcended two individuals. It had become a citywide discussion about credibility, reputation, and power in hip-hop. Analysts noted that how each artist navigated this stage of the feud could redefine alliances, influence fan loyalty, and even affect their upcoming projects. Fans followed every clue, every lyric, and every post, turning the feud into a shared, real-time experience that felt immediate and personal to thousands across the nation. By the conclusion of this explosive chapter, it was clear that the feud had left a lasting mark. 50 Cent and Lil Durk had transformed a rivalry into a cultural event, blending streets, social media, and music into one electrifying spectacle. Fans were left analyzing moves, debating victories, and speculating about future confrontations. The story highlighted the power of narrative control, strategic timing, and public perception in modern hip-hop, showing that talent alone is no longer enough to dominate the scene. Chicago, and the world, watched as the saga unfolded, proving that this beef was far from over, with anticipation building for every next move, reaction, and lyric. The drama had reached a fever pitch, leaving everyone on edge and craving the next explosive development in a battle that had captured the imagination of an entire city. The 50 Cent and Lil Durk saga has taken Chicago and the entire hip-hop world by storm. From explosive revelations to cryptic responses, fans have witnessed a battle that goes beyond music, spilling into social media, streets, and culture itself. Every move, every post, every lyric has been dissected, debated, and analyzed, showing just how high the stakes are when legends clash. This isn't just a feud, it's a real-time masterclass in strategy, influence, and narrative control. The city, fans, and industry insiders are all waiting for the next explosive development. And one thing is clear: this beef is far from over. Stay glued to your screens, because every response, every diss track, and every subtle hint could change the game entirely. Watch, share, and join the conversation as this intense saga continues to unfold. Because in Chicago hip-hop, nothing is ever really over.